Howdy ho, howdy hey. Welcome back to another week, another episode, another sitting of the Average Joe's Coffee Show. The coffee is beer this week too. Late nights, beer, parties, drugs. No drugs, but
Sadly.
what's up?
Sadly,
yeah. They're back again. The boys are back in the room. I got my boys B-Law and Just Wes.
What's up? Guess which one I am.
What's up, guys?
We were just talking about it. Heaven's Gate. This isn't really what I want to talk about this week, but excuse me. Heaven's Gate, man. It's crazy. What are you guys doing?
I told him to sniff the car and have his beer.
You trying to get fucked up, dude?
Dude, just trying to get fucked up, bro.
Trying to get fucking high, bro. Heaven's Gate. What a fucking...
That dude got some big
This is
ass
good.
ears.
He does.
Maybe that's how
What
he
a
heard that
wild
revelation.
Fucking time.
True.
Probably. Shit. No, what I really want to talk about is how crazy things can get when one person kind of spreads their idea of one thing. So like earlier we were talking on you guys' show. Is that the right word? You guys? Use guys.
You guys. Hey,
Use
you
guys'
guys.
shows.
You people.
What do you
What
mean?
you mean, you people? This guy.
on y'all's show, a whole lot of dumb shit. We were talking about cults, right?
Yeah.
This is more along those lines, but I kind of said something about it in that how crazy it is that one person can have so much power over a whole group, where it's Branch Davidians in Waco or the Rashnishi up in Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or what was the other one? Buddha Field, Hawaii, Austin, and wherever the fuck out, California. Heaven's Gate, or even if it's like fucking conspiracy theories, like what was some U.S. cover up of Roswell.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read that fast enough, but I mean U.S. cover up of any kind of UFO information up until recently. What else we got? What does it say? Assassinations of MLK and JFK. Huh? I didn't.
K in your name.
Yeah, I just said. I was just thinking that. I don't know, things like that. It's like how fast does information get distorted and spread, and things like these comes up. Urban legends. Aliens. JFK.
JFK was assassinated by the Greys. That is the solving of the mystery of the magic bullet, because they use gravity forces in order to change the trajectory inside the bullet.
See, and that's how easy it is. You saying that right now, if we just kept repeating it and spreading it and telling all our friends this shit, it could be the new JFK.
You got a point. Like, the only way to perfect something is to do it over and over and over until you get it right.
10,000 hours.
Who fucking knows how many fucking times some of these fucked up people have tried this until they got it right.
Yeah, but there's no telling. I don't know. It's just, how wild is it? This is how easy it is to distort information.
Oh yeah, like that game that you guys, what is it? Telephone that you play in school?
Oh yeah,
where,
telephone.
Yeah, that you like whisper it to one person till it goes all the way to the end, one message, and then see the message at the end, and it's always completely different than what you started with.
Yeah, the point of the game is to get the same message to the end.
Yeah, to the end, and it never happens
every time.
We should try that. We should try that.
I used to be the one that I would hear the message, understand it, and say some bullshit.
Oh, you were
Because
that guy.
we played it, you had to trace it back to who fucked it up.
Oh yeah, no, we were just trying to get the same message to the end.
I would change it slightly every time.
Well, that's the reason. You're the reason why.
Yeah.
You're that guy.
But then I'd be like, well, I heard that. I heard him say he likes camel dick.
The FBI
And then-
wishes to know your location.
Speaking of knowing your location, have you guys seen that shit where people are getting chips implanted in their hands?
Oh yeah, they're freaking. They tried to do that kind of shit with guns too. Like there was a special pistol that the only way you could actually shoot it is if you were wearing a bracelet, and it was like literally like Fox News was like, this is the dumbest fucking idea ever.
I thought you were talking about getting a gun put in you, like RoboCop.
Yo, that would be so fucking cool. Like,
what
I'd
the
be having like that freaking Derringer with the wrist mount, and it's just like, whoosh, you were terminated, freaking or some shit.
There was so many references.
Dude,
just
I was
now.
at C school, and this guy had
What was this back in?
not C school, micro, and this guy had a magnet in his finger. He got a
seen
magnet
it.
put in his finger. That's so cool. This has to be
There's
so
a guy in
useful.
California, and his whole house is integrated with different circuitry that he has. What are you doing?
It's just a little magnet.
Imagine like somebody else having the same magnet, and like your fingers get stuck,
yeah.
and you're like, ah, fuck.
I bet he could pick up paper clips like nobody's business.
That's crazy. Just look what I can do.
That was so many paper clips.
There's a guy in California. I don't remember what his name is, but I saw this a while back. And he's got like circuitry in his arm, and his whole house is integrated with this circuitry, and his motorcycle even is a part of it. So no one can start it except him, because nobody has this fucking motorcycle.
Is it
This-
Elon Musk?
You ever heard of
Fucking-
Deus Ex?
What is it?
Deus Ex.
No.
It is probably one of the most revolutionary games in RPG history.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You should look this shit up. It's like
we always call it Deuces X.
Deuces X,
Yeah.
like the old school. You ever play that one?
No.
Oh my god!
It's
It,
more
like
2000s.
so, like Deus Ex is Deuces.
Deuces?
Eh.
Deuces, dude. I'm out of here.
But yeah, the idea behind that was the main deal was biomechanical augmentations. And my freaking step granddad, he introduced me to the game because he was a hardcore gamer. He freaking liked video games, especially at like the ripe old age of like 50 something. I actually don't know how old he is, but anyway, he introduced me to the game, and I was like, "So what's the point in this game, Roger?" And he was like, "To become God." And I was like,
Oh.
what?" And he was like, "Yeah." So, and he explained it to me. He was like, "Yeah." So, the idea is you get all these augmentations, because that's what they called them in the game, and you fuse with this artificial intelligence, and you become the supreme being of the world. You become
That's always been my goal.
you become Voltaire's
Thanos.
invented God. Which he says, like, if there
That's what I aim to be. Your God. You can. That's. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys. That's what you can call me now. Just call me God.
I will be known as Electric Messiah. Not trying to steal High on Fire's freaking song.
You
I
can
just
only
think
call
that's
me
really cool.
Dragon.
You can call me Nighthawk.
Uh,
Your objective in Deus Ex is to become Nighthawk.
Back to kind of this conspiracy stuff, though. It's like I was saying, man. It's weird how easily information is passed, especially now. How fast, you get your news or your bullshit or whatever you like to read. It's just insane. Like Whoa, excuse me. How fast? You remember when that meme came out that the birds were working for the bourgeoisie?
Birds are real, man.
That's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard. But it was fucking quick. Everybody knew. My younger sister, both of them, both knew real quick.
That reminds me of the freaking
Making jokes about it. I'm like, what?
That reminds me of well, obviously it's like exactly how memes are.
Yeah.
The word meme was quoted in like 1987 or 1985, something like that, and it was based on a freaking psychological paper on how fast an idea could spread. Like, you ever heard of the freaking Vietnam thing? Kilroy was here, and like the Vietnamese like put out like a $1 million bounty on a guy that didn't exist. Yeah, that was supposedly the first modern quote unquote meme was Kilroy was here, and I think
I've seen it.
Yeah,
like pictures of it.
Yeah, and
just kind of
like
painted
a
places.
meme, especially
See if I
like
pull it up.
if you guys are like SCP nerds like me, is like a mimetic anomaly is something that spreads through the idea of it. And a meme is an idea that spreads like a virus, and everybody just somehow winds up knowing it.
Yeah, Kilroy was here. It's like a little. It's a meme. That's
It's
all it is.
basically like if you really look at it, like all the Kilroy shit. It's basically like the penis thing that freaking military cats do all the time. Like even in Trajan's Wall or Trajan's Pillar, like people just kept drawing dicks on everything. Like even
draw
back in
dicks on
the
everything?
ancient time. I mean, dude, you cannot tell me that you weren't in the Porta shitter during like MCT or freaking whatever, fucking drawing dicks on something. Like some of that shit was like articulate.
No, I was trying not to fucking die because it was the middle of the summer. I was sweating my dick off. It was hot as fuck.
It was a good time, guys. Freaking.
There wasn't even room to draw another dick in the porta potty.
Just,
Have you seen some of those? Like freaking. Were you East Coast?
Yeah.
Okay, you were West Coast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a real one.
Freaking. Do you?
You had to deal with sand fleas.
Oh my God.
They're not even that fucking bad. I grew up my entire fucking childhood with sand fleas, and they're not that. Yeah, I showered. They're fucking there.
Shit, dude, I freaking dealt with fire ants in Pensacola. It wasn't that bad. But anyway, so you remember
18 years of my goddamn life.
So you remember? I don't know if you were in the same Porta shitter. Like they probably changed them since I.
No, they
since I've been in.
don't.
But
No,
like
they
there was like I know they
They
changed some of
clean
them
it,
because
maybe.
they actually did while I was at MCT. One of them was Drill Instructor Sergeant Cock. It was like the best work of art that I've ever seen with penises, and it was literally just this giant dick, and it was just drawn so well that it looked exactly like a drill instructor. I was like, what the
Seen
fuck?
a lot of penises in your day, huh?
I mean, we all have. We all shower with like fucking 80 other people.
I don't make it my point to look at another dude's wang. That's my new word, by the way. Wang. I'm gonna just start. Well, stop being a wang.
Hey,
That's gonna be my
we're like,
thing.
hey, stop being a wang.
Knock that shit off.
You fucking wang.
Anyways, the quickness of, I just said the birds work for the bourgeoisie. How that was a fucking quick turnaround. I think it was like a video the first time I saw it. But I'm always a little late to the draw on a lot of this shit. I saw a video and it was like that was creepy.
Yeah, it was creepy as fuck.
It was like hit me with some truth. And the guy goes, birds aren't real. They work for the bourgeoisie. Or something like that. Or something about Reagan replacing birds. It was weird.
How about this new conspiracy theory?
Why did I think it was
That 5G's
Reagan?
causing
I never
corona?
heard that it was Reagan that was doing it, and I was like,
I don't know, man.
As
It
soon
was
as I freaking heard, like, as soon as I heard birds or just freaking mechanical surveillance things, I was like, Reagan did this. So I was like, wait a minute.
Oh.
That fucked me up.
Oh, my lighter.
The currently in recent events, the anonymous hackerist released Trump was caught up in the Epstein.
Oh, Jesus. Who was
Remember that?
No, I didn't. I haven't seen that one.
No.
I haven't seen
But it just goes to
either.
show, like, how I've seen a lot about Anonymous, though.
Anonymous has been active lately.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Like, they were covering the George Floyd thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, like classic Anonymous, expect us, freaking shit like that. And like, they pretty much said that they were going to come after, like, all the major cities' police departments, and they were going to expose everyone that had any kind of fucking dirt.
Who doesn't have a little bit of dirt, though? Who hasn't done something
Well,
crazy?
like any major dirt, like the shit that actually fucking hurts
Like
people.
murder? What were you saying? You the anonymous hackers?
Hackerist. It's a
Hackervists.
term.
Activist.
Hacktivist.
Yeah, there it is.
Faggots. I mean, anonymous.
Damn.
Don't let them catch you saying that. Calling them faggots. I'm
Dude,
sure
I'm-
your whole
I'm-
fucking life will be over.
I didn't say they were.
I did.
I'm
on
all
accident.
about 'em.
I apologize.
I believe in everything they do.
They're coming after you.
They're so in depth on shit too, and it's not just this Donald Trump, Epstein, and
But
George Floyd.
why
and
is
stuff.
it their right to expose people?
They even did it with that case that we were watching the true crime about, the that one that happened in Georgia where the black high school kid died and was wrapped up in the wrestling. Yeah, and it was just
What?
It was just an unsolved case, and Anonymous came out and put the facts down. This is one case in Georgia. So they're not only in mainstream big stuff too, they're also in little things too. They're everywhere. It's awesome. I love it. I'm all about them.
I'm not about people that it gets into the fucking invasion of privacy. No, whatever the fuck whatever Trump was involved in should be exposed. I agree with that kind of thing. But when it comes to like the little shit, leave people the fuck alone.
I mean, like, well,
I'm just worried.
I get
like,
what you're saying. Is
where I start to worry is at what point does this turn into any other extremely powerful organization where we have to start worrying about how much they know?
I mean, it's not
Like, where do I have to fucking stop speaking in my free time because I have to worry about who knows what I fucking said? Drunk me says dumb shit that I don't mean. I say
mean-
things as jokes all the time, and I don't mean them. And I'm worried a lot of times that those things can get twisted, and it ties back into what my original topic was, like how fast that shit gets twisted. What were the bourgeoisie thing? I said in just the time we talked about it, right? You heard the government made the bourgeoisie were responsible for the spying birds, and then I brought up Reagan, and already now that's in your mind. You see it? Like, that's how fast does this shit get twisted, and where is the truth? The truth is out there. And then
Where's your trigger?
Where is it?
I want to believe, I think.
Is that what it is?
Do
I want to
do you
believe.
Or
Do
I
you believe?
Keep watching the skies.
Oh, dude. Fucking speaking of. Would you shit yourself?
It wasn't
Did
me.
you?
It wasn't me.
It probably was you.
Definitely wasn't.
Typical.
Might have been.
Yeah. The fact.
He's so old he
Do
don't
you
know his
smell
own
it?
farts. I smell it, man. Freaking what the fuck?
It just hit him. It's not over here. You guys are fucking. It's all y'all. It's some shit in the AC. Oh, that would be fucking terrible.
You remember that time that somebody fucking shit on their goddamn carpet and it would stank up the entire fucking half of that wing?
Remember when that guy's fridge took a shit and it just
Oh, yes.
fucking stopped working?
Yeah.
And
they
it was
they
the
didn't-
entire floor.
And he was the last room on the right, and he didn't even take it down the main ladder well or stairwell. He took it down the ladder well, like the
the outside.
yeah, the fire escape, whatever. He took it down there, and it's still on field day.
Oh, it's so bad.
so
Everything
horrible.
stunk. The next day it smelled.
That's also another thing. It's like everybody knew somewhat what happened with the dude shitting on his carpet. So
How fast did that happen? That's my fucking
That was
point.
like
that
freaking-
was quick.
yeah. So
The next day I know who did it, why they did it, when they fucking
What
did
time.
how
it.
like how
Yeah,
it
I
how it
knew
fucking
everything.
happened. Like like the dude didn't deliberately shit on it. He fucking
Well,
he freaking got drunk, freaking soiled himself by accident, and it was on his pants, and like some of that freaking sludge leaked into the fucking carpet.
oh, that's so nasty. I didn't want to hear that at all anyways. I was going to let you finish. But the fact you just said sludge, I don't want to ever hear you talk about it.
It was for the fans, Benny.
Fuck them. That's gross.
Oh, we'll edit it. They won't hear this, or they will.
I don't
Either
give a
way,
shit.
it's gonna be entertaining.
I don't know.
No pun intended.
Barracks life, people.
This kind of ties into the cult thing too. When a group of people believe the same thing, right?
This holy poop.
All right, enough with the shit. Don't bring that shit up anymore. That's gross. When a group of people believe the same thing, and Christianity, how fast did that shit fucking spread? In the grand scheme of time, like right away.
It took like 40 years for them to actually like have some kind of recognition. It's like, hey, we're not freaking incestuous, cannibalistic fucking weirdos. We're just like, we just call each other brother. We eat the freaking flesh and blood of Christ and all this other shit as a fucking sacrament unto, just to honor the man that Jesus was as the Son of
That's-
God.
yeah,
And that's
and
what the
it's-
Romans didn't understand, and they cracked down on that shit because it was all of that shit that they described.
And that's where
was
that
illegal.
information spread and that the truth being twisted shit gets out
Yeah.
of hand, because obviously the Romans believed in their religion, and as Christianity started gaining traction and making moves, they were hearing certain things, and obviously these things aren't true.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, nobody now can say, but
Do you believe in like a group,
The
a
bourgeoisie?
society need an underlining religion or something to believe in, like the Book of Eli with Denzel, and they were going after Denzel the whole time because he had the last copy of the Bible, and the guy owned a town and needed it to run people. You know what I'm saying?
so you're asking, do I think that people need a belief?
Yeah.
do they need religion? Is what you mean?
Well, more of like a belief in something to believe in, to be
to
be governed and
like
ruled.
kind of like some higher power is giving them the purpose to actually do.
I don't think it
whatever.
necessarily has to be a higher power.
Yeah,
You look at
just
atheists.
something that you can all
They happily exist
relate.
without any idea what I talked to one, and he was like, I'm fucking just here. I'm
The fact
going
that
along
they're-
with the cosmic
They're all
breeze.
atheists. It brings them as a group and together.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, something
Atheist
like
is
that.
a group.
Yeah,
Atheism is a group.
You think that a society and a group of people need something like that
Yeah,
to be ruled and governed?
for
and
sure.
stuff? Yeah.
Because when you don't believe in anything, what happens? What do you do?
Something like nihilism, whether you just don't have any kind of sense of purpose and you just either do nothing or you act out.
Yeah.
To be
It's usually how
Exactly.
people feel whenever they
Yep.
have something like
Yep.
that come.
to be a productive member of a society, whether it be a foreign country, our country, or even part of a religious society like Christianity, any kind of specific church, atheism, Scientology, whatever it is, you have to have a belief in something. Because if you don't believe in anything, what are you gonna do? Sit there? I don't believe that I should have to work. All right, sit there. Get out of everybody else's way. I think everybody should have a belief. I don't give a fuck what your belief is.
Yeah.
You're. This is America.
I mean, like,
What's the rest of the song by Childish Gambino?
Don't catch you slipping.
This is America.
I don't know.
He shoots the guy. I
Don't
don't know.
catch you
video.
slipping, though.
Oh, is that what it is? Do you know it?
Somewhat. I mean, like, there's only
don't.
about like 3 different variations to the lyrics, and then like it's
There's only,
you
like,
better
7
tell
words.
somebody, something like that.
He's right.
Yes, I
This
do.
America.
I do think that people need a belief system in something, whether it's believing in the fact that there's not a higher being and that we're floating on a cosmic breeze, or believing that God is real, or Thor is real, or Odin is the one you centralize around, or Zeus, or a Kali in Hinduism, or whatever it is, or even like the Native Americans and
White
animalism.
buffalo calf woman. That's
Like,
an
whatever
actual
it is.
person,
Yeah,
or well, an actual freaking
It just-
deity, you know.
it sounds a bit ridiculous. What did you? The Great White.
The white buffalo calf woman. That one's actually a really interesting thing because
Yeah?
it was revealed to a Sioux medicine man whose name was Sweet Medicine, and
Nice. I want some sweet medicine.
he was an incredible dude.
Yeah.
Freaking,
Now I feel bad for making fun of it.
Nah, I'm sure he would have laughed too.
Yeah.
No, he probably would have. I heard like freaking people like that.
He was a
had-
cool guy.
He was a really cool dude, but freaking one of his one of the things that was revealed to him was by this white buffalo calf woman, you know, freaking natives name things as they saw them, and that's how a lot of natives actually got their names, like Crazy Horse, freaking Sitting Bull, stuff like that.
Standing bear.
The law dog.
Yeah, freaking.
That's not the same.
That's the same.
It's not. Anyway. So basically what she said was she rolled over 4 times, and every time that she rolled over, white buffalo calf appeared, and she would transfigure into this, and then she roll over again, become a human, roll over, white buffalo calf, and she did this 4 times.
Oh,
And,
so it wasn't like a crossbreed, like a centaur. It was a white buffalo calf or a woman.
You know the
Yeah.
odds of seeing a white buffalo?
It's very slim.
It's like 1 in 10 million, is what I heard.
Yeah, there's
I don't know
3
what
so
they are.
far that have actually been born. Anyway, once
bet
the
they're
4th one is
gorgeous.
born, once this 4th white buffalo calf is born, she said that it will be a tremendous time for the Sioux people to, it like a hugely tremendous time. I don't quite remember the whole prophecy, but it was like
great. We gotta worry about
some
something else
kind
now?
of some kind of
Fuck.
either it was a conflict or it was the Sioux people would finally be saved, something like that, just because of like the trying times that all natives were going through at the time, and the
Yeah.
Sioux people needed, also had their
They
beliefs
needed
as
hope.
something that they needed to like hope in.
It's kind of it's interesting because you think about legends, Legend of Hercules.
Zelda.
No,
Oh Jesus!
no, mm-mm.
She did not do anything legendary. She piggybacked off Link the entire time. She's just a trifling ass
fucking
bitch.
No, what I mean is like the Legend of Hercules or the tales of Thor or Loki or legends from Native American tribes. Are you about to play a game during my podcast? You fuck. I intently listened in yours.
pause. There's a pause.
I need your input. I need
Yeah.
your
You can
skepticism.
have it.
You'll always
Like I
have
was
my
saying,
input
I just
back.
gotta
When it
keep
comes
my
to
hands-
legends.
I gotta keep my fingers moving.
Legends from Greek culture, Roman culture, Norse, Native American, African, Asian. When it comes to these legends, how much do you think is based in truth? Because you see things like now, how fast the truth gets twisted, and how in 50, 60 years, whatever the story is then is obviously going to be much different than what's now.
Kinda like,
the situation dictates and what legend and everything, in my opinion.
kind of like how those memes are going around of like how we adopted the Gregorian calendar in the 1500s and we lost 8
Lost
years.
8 years,
And now
and
it's
it's actually
2012 now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's like it gets even weirder after that because, like, you know, like we're staying the conspiracy theory vibe here. Freaking, there's like 3 different planets and 3 different stations among like the fucking constellations of like the zodiac and shit. And like this is a weird thing because like each and every one of these, like one of the planets was in this station whenever 9/11 happened. Another one was during the fall of Rome, and then like another one was during like some fucking huge fucking race riot or something. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
all
said
3 of those-
station, and I was thinking like spaceship.
No, like
I was like,
no, like
station,
I don't know what to call them, but they're like stationed in those zodiac.
positions.
Yeah, they're positioned there.
They're positioned in certain places, and these major events happen.
Yeah, and all
Okay,
3 of
I
them
thought-
are like all
I
3 of
was
them
like
are aligned.
stations.
Yeah, all 3 of them are positioned
In a certain manner.
in like in the same constellations that they were during these events. All 3 of them at the
I was
exact
like,
same
what
time.
the fuck? But it, like, the legend of what am I thinking of? Who brought fire in Roman culture? Or
Well, it's
Greek
like a
culture.
Prometheus.
Prometheus. So the legend of Prometheus. Obviously, it's not exactly shared with other cultures or other religions, but like, how much do you think that is based in truth?
It's like a freaking some gigantic dude just freaking comes out of the sky. It's like, hey, y'all want fire? And they're all like, nah, man, we're good. Hey, watch this. Freaking grabs a deer and just freaking schwacks it against a fucking tree. It's like, hey, freaking does the whole, like, does a, you know, freaking
Hey, you hosers.
skins the buck like, you know, like any other fucking thing. And then, like, freaking just, you know, burns the meat, and then the humans smell the meat, and it's like, what the fuck did you just do? This is
No.
great.
So
And
this
he's like,
is
it's fire.
this is after like a modification, is where you're kind of what I'm saying is like, Ancient Aliens talks about it all the time.
Oh, okay, so we're
At
going this
what
route.
point is that our fridge?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's not my
loud in the
throat singing.
headphones. At what point was Prometheus actually just some alien and showed up and was like, "Yo, watch this," bah! And he was
Like
just
a-
like a normal sized dude, or maybe even a weird looking guy, and he kind of showed up and lit something on fire, or his spaceship lit something on fire,
No, it's like,
and the humans were like, well, "Shit, what the fuck?"
I mean,
all right.
if you look at the
I
if you look at the Babylonian shit, it's like much the same thing, but instead of Prometheus bringing fire, it was a dude, and this was like in their actual fucking, like in their actual text, wearing
Yeah.
a diving suit, and he taught them magic, science, farming, all this stuff to actually like build a society and actually sustain themselves. And once he was done, he went back. They actually worshipped him as a god after that. It was like the god of learning, the god of magic. His name was Dagon. And
yeah, I mean,
is like that is a weird thing, because, you know, that also goes into freaking ancient cultures and shit like that. It's like it's almost like it's the same god, but they're all in, but they all have different names. It's all different interpretations, different deeds, different, you know, different stories by different people.
yeah, I mean, unless you're the first person account, like the only thing I can think of, excuse me, that I've actually been a part of, and for some people that were, Jesus, excuse me, some people that were there will know. The thing that I can really attest to, and like the truth of the situation, and even my truth may be different than somebody else's, when I went out to Akuma with a bunch of people out here in Japan.
You
And
didn't invite me.
this was a long time ago, dude. I was drinking.
I was invited and I didn't go. I didn't want to go.
Yeah. Thanks.
I would have gone.
Broke my fucking heart.
I would have gone.
I don't even think we hung out at the time. Anyways, back to
Yeah, we didn't
story.
really hang out until we started gaming together.
Yeah. My story is going to be different. I'll exaggerate in a different way than somebody else will. And years from now, when I tell my kids, and even if for some weird reason my kids tell their kids, the story is not going to be the same as what really happened. And I know what happened because I was there. The only way I feel like to get a true report on what happened is to be the first person and write that shit down as it's happening. But nobody does that. Nobody's in the middle of nobody's in the middle of the street naked and like, wait a second, let me bust out my book and write down what just happened.
Yeah, it's
Francis
like
I
Scott
definitely
Key
didn't
did.
do. Huh?
That's what Francis Scott Key did.
yeah, but like
Star
I
Spangled
Banner.
mean, yeah,
that?
The Star Spangled Banner.
that's the same thing with
Yeah.
He was locked in a
He was
ship, and he wrote
that's
it.
it's not in like the middle of something though. That what I'm saying is like
the Battle of the War of 1812.
I know when it was. What I'm saying is like you're not doing an action and in the middle of that action you
okay.
stop and you're like, all right.
Yeah, you're right.
He had a downtime and he was observing what's going on around outside.
Yeah. Downtime.
that's the same. Like
I mean, as much of a downtime as you can get in that situation.
that different interpretation is also like a key thing in a lot of some of the classic literature too, like Homer's Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Different interpretations were written by freaking Virgil
Mhm.
for the Aeneid, which Aeneas was like the guy that was entrusted by the house of was it Priam? Yeah, by the house of Priam to actually safeguard the Trojans in order to make their escape.
Yeah.
And Homer in his stuff, like he was blind, so he had a scribe write all this shit down as Homer said it, but Homer heard it from somebody else, and it was everything was just freaking, all these stories were just told by word of mouth. Homer was just the best one that actually said it.
How easy is it to change things orally? If I tell you a joke and that I heard from somebody else, that they heard from somebody else, how similar. I feel like those stories will always be similar. The basis in the thoughts behind it will probably always be similar.
Yeah, the methodology
But
just gets done differently.
It's my main argument behind why the Bible is more of a legend than it is stories, if that makes sense.
New Testament or Old Testament?
Both.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that a lot of it's more this person saw it or this person heard it by word of mouth. Like Noah's Ark. May not have necessarily been what we thought it was. It's not this catastrophic flood that flooded the entire planet. It's more a catastrophic flood of a certain region. What is it? Black Sea? Sea somewhere over in Europe that's not here.
The Red Sea.
Who fucking knows, dude? At one point wasn't a sea. It's like Atlantis.
Yeah.
Has basis in truth. But do you know, just what you may know a little bit more, I know that there's a civilization somewhere that was struck by a massive earthquake and sunk. Much like the tale of Atlantis.
Oh yeah, that was
Obviously wasn't as technologically advanced as they thought, but
it was like there were like one or two others. Like one of them was Lemuria that had the same shit happen to them, and like they swear me damn, it's like no, Atlantis was one, Lemuria was the other one, and freaking Lemuria came like before or after it got destroyed, before or after, something like that. Lemuria was like a really weird deal.
Yeah.
Like most people will say that like it's fake. And honestly, like Atlantis would be more believable than what Lemuria was because
I've never even
just
heard
some
of
other shit.
Lemuria.
Yeah, and like even in the Bimini Road, just like just off the fucking coast of like of the Bimini Islands,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just this fucking, like, it's a legit like structure of a road in the sand, and it's just underneath the ocean. And
Yeah, and that's there's countless examples where is the basis in truth? Like it's what's another one? Obviously, this one's not exactly what I'm thinking of. Not exactly along the same lines, but Paul Bunyan. You ever heard the story of Paul Bunyan?
yeah,
His great ox and his double-sided axe. You know, it may have been closer to reality than people thought. It may have just been a real big fucking dude that could chop down a tree faster than the other people there, and who had a larger than average cow.
saw the tall tales in America, like John Henry too.
John Henry,
Like-
Casey Jones,
Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed, how
Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett. There's countless stories that are based in truth and that are twisted. And what's John Henry hammered through a mountain? Not exactly possible, but
Could we enlighten me on John Henry? I forgot.
So John Henry was he was
a slave at one point, right?
No, he was born just after,
Or just after
just after slavery was abolished. He was born in 18 freaking when did the Civil War end?
Oh,
Like
he was the one that
1864. Yeah, he was
1865?
1865.
He beat the
Yeah, because he
machine?
was
Huh?
born in
he beat the
1867.
machine.
Yep.
Okay.
You saw me watching. There's a movie I love to watch, and it's been a movie in my life since I was a kid. What is it called? American Heroes.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
James
it's
Earl
like
Jones
the
as the
freaking,
narrator.
yeah, it's like the freaking
That's why I bring up John
the Code
Henry.
of the West.
What?
It's like yeah, that was like one
The
of the
Chode?
big. No, that
Code.
was one of the big. That was one of the big lines. It's like the Code of the West. It was like
I don't know.
freaking something
It's been a while.
something. Never spit in front of women or children. Then they spit. And
No.
like that was the deal.
Is it? I don't know.
I think it was
Anyways.
because they had all those tall tales in there.
It's not in American Heroes.
No, well,
American
shit.
Heroes encompasses Paul Bunyan, Casey Jones, John Henry, and Johnny Appleseed. And in the John Henry story, it's narrated by James Earl Jones, I think. Darth Vader, isn't that who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He narrates the story of John Henry, who was born just after slavery, and while many black families were still suffering of the consequences that they were in the South,
Yeah.
because the South was still, going through Jim Crow laws and segregation and indentured slavery and things like that. And he was working a railroad with his wife. Correct me if I'm wrong, Just West. With his wife? Or his wife was in the vicinity? I know in American Heroes his wife is there.
I mean, I don't think I've seen this movie.
Anyways,
we may be talking about different movies.
we may be. It may not even be called American Heroes. I don't remember.
I mean,
It's
I'm
something
seeing
like
an
that.
American Hero, but this was done in 2015.
No, it's not that. This is an old movie.
That's the code.
He's by far the biggest man on this railroad yard. He's nailing down spikes in one hit with a 20-pound hammer. And he's building these railroads at outstanding rates. Well, along comes the industrial era where machines were being built that could hammer these spikes at the same rate in faster, that could split rocks faster. You're thinking of a live action movie, right, Just Wes?
Yeah, it was.
I know what you're talking
It
about.
has it actually has all of those tall tale characters in there.
These are
and they were-
separate. These are separate stories. I know what you're talking about, and I've seen that movie too, but I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, the machine comes up one day and challenges John Henry to a race to the other side of the mountain.
A steam drill.
and they hammer through the mountain, not over it, not around it. The machine starts hammering through it, and John Henry decides to keep up with the machine. He ends up beating it with two 20-pound hammers, hammering through this mountain. That's not necessarily truth in life. He may have just been this large man that moved more rock than others and drove stakes just as fast as a machine, or split rocks. I think the movie you're thinking of, they were splitting a boulder, and
It's
John
been
Henry.
a long time since
Yeah,
I've seen
it's both of these movies has been a really long time
it's
since
like
I've seen one.
that was like whenever I was in like first grade was whenever I
It's been a long
watched that
time.
movie.
But yeah, they
My
hammer
first
through the
love,
mountain.
first
John
movie.
Henry beats the machine, but he ends up dying at the end.
Yeah,
He gave it his all and
He won.
dies.
yeah, he like by all accounts of like whatever freaking story you hear, he won. But he wound up getting like carbon monoxide poisoning and dying because he was in that tunnel. He was in that same tunnel with that machine.
Well, so see, and that's another example of the truth being twisted to fit whatever story is reality to you. Because the story that I know, he overworked himself and died of that. Story, obviously, you just said the story you heard, he died of carbon monoxide poisoning from being in the same tunnel. That's where, like, it goes back to what we were talking about before, how fast truth can be twisted and how, like, conspiracies get ignited and legends get spun and stories that are passed down orally get told in different ways. The stories I tell are much different than, I'm not saying I'm lying, but human nature is to exaggerate just a little bit. And so a lot of the stories I tell are mildly exaggerated. In no way are they not true. I've seen some crazy shit happen, and I've done some weird stuff. But to what point they're actually true, I would say like 85-90%. So there's that 10% range where things have been modified, or I kept details that make me sound like an idiot, or things are mildly exaggerated, things like that. And that's how legends start. That's how we get the legend of the beer pong table.
Mm-hmm.
That thing's not that one, but the other one was around for years.
Oh, yeah.
I tell people 7 years, up to 10.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who I'm talking to. That may not be the truth. I don't know. That's what I was told.
That's what I was told.
So and like there's signatures from however long ago. It's just cool. I love it. I love conspiracy theories. I love legends. I love mythology and trying to find the truth in everything.
The truth.
The truth is out there. What? That's up. That's what it is. Yep. It is.
Adventure is out there.
Adventure is out there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Fuck
The truth that's out there is like
Something.
It was
Somewhere.
that was from a show that Leonard Nimoy I think was like the
I gotta look it
was
up.
like the dude, and The Simpsons made a spoof of it.
Of course they did.
It was
it's
in
like-
Men in Black, I think.
Oh.
Remember when I think it was like the second one, they go to that video store and they're trying to reignite Kay's memories or some shit.
Yeah, the deneuralizer.
And the end of the supernatural video or the alien video says the truth is out there or something like that. It says it's in the X-Files too. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know, man. It's congrats.
Get them Princess Peach cheeks.
Oh, okay. It's interesting.
That's why they're called legends, though. It's a legend.
You don't think
It's not
we should
fact.
learn from them?
Which one?
of
Situation
them.
dictates.
You say situation dictates a lot.
Yeah, because it
Does it?
does. Yeah.
You
There's some legends.
Shouldn't you
the-
take lessons from anything?
So the
you
legends of the
can.
Loch Ness monster, I'm supposed to fucking believe. mean, like I do, but
Well, I don't think that's necessarily a legend. I think that's more of a.
There are certain life lessons I believe that can be learned from our underwater ally Nessie, Lawson, Law Dog,
Maybe
B-Law.
don't be a fucking dick to her.
Yeah,
Jesus,
dude.
She's
Like,
gonna bust
learn
your
from
head
what
off.
the druids did to appease her. They threw a freaking rock with all these inscriptions and shit.
I don't
and-
know if that's gonna work, but
I don't know
Legends
either.
Learned the druids were probably wrong. Bitch probably just wants a fucking snack.
Yeah. She just probably wants a snacky snack of like Congo eels and shit. And here you are, just be all like, "Hey, fuck
she
you,
doesn't
Nessie."
exist. I can't
doesn't
learn
exist.
nothing.
I believe,
believe in
it.
Loch Ness?
Oh, now you do.
Dude,
No, 100%.
there's no way. It was a couple years ago now. They found a couple 100-year-old shark. Previously non-existent species, or they thought that it was extinct. And this dude's just like swimming around.
Oh
minding his
yeah,
fucking
that one
business.
that's like in the deep sea.
Yes.
Or no, like that freaking long ass fucking shark.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember that
Good
one.
movie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it was
there's
like a type
there's a
of
possibility that Nessie's just out there fucking around, like peeks her head up every once in a while. Hey guys, disappears, gone. Legend, lesson learned.
yeah. Just keep your eye out.
Keep your eyes open.
She's just trying to say hi, man.
No, the legends I'm talking about aren't necessarily the ones that involve cryptids like Bigfoot or the skunk ape or even the chupacabra. The lessons I'm talking about are more like mythology, so Greek mythology and Roman mythology, or Norse stories, where they talk about. What was the one? I have a book over there. Can you hand me? It should be in that stack over there.
the big? No, that's not.
No, it's gonna be like a blue book, I think. It's got some. Yep. Nope. That's the wrong one. It should have like a bunch of notes and shit. It might not be over there.
Not Armada.
What's wrong with Armada?
Literally a copy of The Last Starfighter,
Yep, there it is.
which is a great
Neil
fucking movie.
Gaiman's Norse
They're
mythology.
making a sequel to Last Starfighter too.
Let's see. Like their beginning legends, just right off the bat, right opened it up, right to it. I'm not gonna read it, but there's lessons to be learned by how they conducted themselves and the way that people that wrote down these stories viewed the world around them.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Greek mythology talking about lightning, the god of lightning. You think that was just like bad thunderstorm? We saw fucking lightning. I thought
Yeah,
was
we saw
gonna
fucking
murder us
storms and
earlier.
that. Yeah, that shit was wild.
I think like I don't know. Things get twisted and things get extorted, and we learn things from legends. And I think it's cool. I like it. Conspiracies too.
I like the remaking of them, like a different concept of it, like with Sherlock Holmes, and how
Telling the story in a different way.
yeah,
Okay.
like Elementary. Watson's a girl, a female, and he's English, but all the crimes and stuff take place in New York.
In like a more current time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Not
I haven't
Jack
seen
the
it, so
Ripper
I don't
time.
know.
Yeah, not Jack the Ripper time. It's modern day as fuck. But yeah, so like a different take on an old story is I like
You like that?
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know. What I seem to learn more from. I bring up Norse mythology and Greek mythology, but what I really want to dive into something and learn from a legend, I usually find myself reading things out of Native American mythology
Yeah.
because they're here, obviously, and I can relate, especially living where I do. There's not a lot of cars and buildings and shit. There's fences, yes, but you can kind of put yourself more into their situations, and you can see how they saw life. Excuse me. And learn from what they were seeing, and how society has changed it. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. It's right on. It's stellar. It's gnarly stories, brah.
Saturday.
Oh, fucking don't say that anymore. I was gonna get a flag to because before you decided to stay out here, I was gonna give you a flag that said that shit, so you would take it with you, and I didn't ever have to look at it. But never did. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Conspiracies are wild.
Made that shit up in A school too. I was saying that years before I was even a solder tech.
Let's see.
Years.
What's a good?
Well, a year.
What is this? Some people believe that research facility. Oh,
Is a
here's
mind
another one.
control lab. That's
Speaking
fucking
of
wild.
some ridiculous bullshit, have you heard about this guy? What is this guy's name? I don't remember, but he believes that a lot of the world officials, like the Queen of England and the president, are lizard people.
Yeah, I've heard
I
that.
heard about that.
Yeah.
I believe
How
it.
ridiculous
I
is
think-
that?
South Park did something about that.
I think there's no evidence to support that. And for someone that's going to be like, well, there's videos of eyes changing, how easy is it to Photoshop eyes in a video that's a little older? It's fairly simple. I watched somebody do it today on fucking YouTube. He was photoshopping videos and splicing them together to make it look like he was flying.
Nice.
And it was like legit flying. That's so you can't come at me with, well, YouTube's got videos, because they're bullshit. There's no evidence of lizard people anywhere. I mean, the argument can be made there's no evidence of a Bigfoot either, or aliens. But the existence
There's
of
legends.
there's legends, yeah. We learn from them.
Yeah.
What's another one? Have you heard about the moon being hollow?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a while.
That's crazy, man.
Gunny's new one with George Floyd being a conspiracy.
So you brought it up, and I didn't hear anything about it. I was in my own
He
fucking
brought it
place.
up, and he was like, "Oh, I watched this video, and their badges are fake, and the police on their car is spelled wrong, and you can see symbols of the Illuminati in the background." And then he told us,
So
to
the
me-
Illuminati is
Yeah.
who killed George Floyd?
yeah,
Oh, those motherfuckers.
some crazy fucking thing, and me and Levis were like, looked at each other like, what the fuck? And he was, those guys that vowed. He's like, no, dude, I fucking believe this shit. And then we watched it with Staff Sergeant, and we're like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever watched in my life.
You know what's crazy, though? We were watching that Unsolved or Unsealed or whatever the fuck it
Earlier
was
today.
show earlier.
Yeah. 20 minutes, real quick.
They were saying shit about the Illuminati being all about bringing down countries.
What's this fucking Bones and Skulls shit they were
Skull
talking
and
about?
Bones Society.
Yeah.
Skull and Bones?
At
I
Yale,
don't know.
I
I don't.
think.
I don't know
So
much
that-
about it.
That
I don't know
is
anything about
a that's a big one.
Fraternity, right?
It is. It's another one of those fucking frat boy shits, but like they are a bunch of they're a bunch of punk ass rich kids that do a lot of just the weirdest fucking shit.
Can we say punk ass rich kids?
Fuck yeah, we can say punk ass rich kids.
Why? Because we're poor.
We're not
Yes,
rich.
we're fucking poor and we ain't punk ass rich kids. Anyway, so one of the main deals with them is that they have ties to a lot of high government type jobs, especially freaking super PAC type shit.
Whoa, excuse me.
That's where their fraternity. That's where their little fraternity type deal goes in, because you know how fraternities are. They only freaking find them, and then like they join them because it's gonna get you a really good job, because everybody's just giving each other homie hookups right after college. That's another thing, and
I'll yank your crank if you yank mine.
It's
so
a Matt
yeah,
Damon
basically.
movie.
What is it?
It's a Matt Damon movie.
Anyway,
Called Skulls.
anyway,
It's a Matt
they
Damon movie called Skulls.
they're into a lot of like just some of the like just some It used to be called like fake
Dust
cult
skulls?
shit.
Yeah.
It used to be like some kind of fake cult shit or occult shit or fucking whatever. And it just turned into this huge thing. And apparently being in the Skull and Bone Society gets you an early induction into the Illuminati.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
This isn't it, but this movie looks good as fuck.
It does look pretty good. Paul Walker, R.I.P.
The skulls. No, but there is one with Matt Damon and a bunch of other famous people.
I bet it's in Boston.
Yeah, probably.
Uh,
That skull right there with like 9 eyes.
What? Oh, this one right here.
What is that?
It's real. Seen it on
Seen
YouTube.
it on the YouTubes.
Extremely rare condition of
Quintuple
quintuples.
skull.
I've
Real.
seen it. They're real. It's got 9 eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy shit! What?
6,
1, 2,
7,
3,
8, 9, 10,
6, 7, 8,
12.
9, 10, 11, 12. So you counted 12?
Yeah. 12 eyes and
It's
exactly
real.
5 noses.
Quintuple skull.
Quintuple. I seen it. That's when people
1918.
say I've seen it, I saw it.
I seen it.
My first reaction is always,
You
well,
ain't seen shit.
it's not necessarily
Yeah,
that
that's
because I want to believe in whatever the fuck they're talking about, but it's more of like, well, why didn't you take a picture? I know each and every fucking one of us have
Take a picture,
something.
it'll last longer.
Yeah, there's not a person I've met recently that doesn't have some kind of phone to take some kind of picture. So when they're like, "Well, I just didn't get the chance," I'm like, "Nah, that's
You
bullshit.
always had the chance.
You
just
always did."
you flaked out. You bitched out and you had the chance.
I don't know. That's my main argument behind fucking cryptids. Yes, I believe in some of them because I think it's entirely possible that maybe they're a little different than we thought. But sainted is not an argument anymore. Maybe if I search it. How do you spell Damon?
DAMON, maybe?
Sure. If you're a Matt Damon fan, don't hate us.
Matt Damon.
God damn, the Great Wall came out 3 years ago? I thought that was
Oh,
way
Jesus.
longer.
I heard it was a good movie,
Look at
though.
he looks weird.
What? No,
that's
that's
because it's
photoshopped. He looks like
photoshopped?
Richard Nixon in that one.
I don't know. The Good Shepherd, maybe? Angelina Jolie, Robert De Niro.
Oh, I'm in.
What? Me too. I don't know, man. Things are. I don't know if it was on the show, but I was telling you about how it might have been a whole lot of dumb shit. I was telling you this. I had a dream the other night,
yeah.
and this is why I keep saying life is weird. I had a dream the other night, and this kind of ties into cult stuff. But I had a dream that I was both a member and observing a cult. So I had the experiences of actually being a member and like I was also watching it from a distance. And I was realizing how fucking weird life is. And how wild and how crooked things can get. Especially the truth. The truth is out there. Maybe I'm thinking it's going to keep bothering me. Maybe I'm thinking of adventures out there and just saying the wrong thing. Who knows? Half my life is a mess. I just kind of roll with it. I don't know.
There we go.
Life's crazy.
Life is.
Things are crazy. Stories are crazy.
Indeed.
My best stories or the best stories are always like oral stories because they get so they can get so exaggerated so quickly. I don't know. We're all tired. We're starting to run out of material. I'm looking at you guys look like you're about to fucking die.
Yeah. Listen out.
So on that note, we're gonna finish the beer and wrap it up for the night. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Just Wes, closing remarks. What do you got?
If you're going to think critically and stay safe out there.
Stay safe. B-Law?
I got nothing except it's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure having you guys. It's always fun when we get to do these at 2:05 in the morning. Happily making another episode is my way of exaggerating and starting our legend. Hopefully in years somebody will be like, yeah, back in the day. Back in the good old times.
Freaking make it a multi-billion-dollar podcast industry.
Jesus. That's not happening.
And freaking watch it actually happen, and you're just
Oh.
like, fuck, this is what I said in episode 5.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to cut it. See you guys back next week for another episode of the Average Joe's Coffee Show.